And speaking of flat Bs, we've got Tanner's pick this week, that being the 2024 film Speak No Evil. Please tell us about it.
Do you guys remember when we watched 2022 Speak No Evil? Well, now imagine that in the far-flung future of 2024. But this time, the family fights back and wins. The end. Fun fact. So James McAvoy said he based his character on Andrew Tate. And this is a personal fun fact based on that fun fact I'm saying. He's lying.
Bad fun fact.
What's bad about that?
It's just like, he's not based on Andrew Tate,
yeah,
though.
He's
what are you
not.
talking about, guys?
I mean, he says he is, but like...
That's a lie. That's not a fun fact at all.
Obviously not true. He doesn't resemble him in any way at all. That was clearly he was in some, fucking interview. He was like, who's like the biggest misogynistic piece of shit in the world right now? Yeah, I based him on that guy. Go watch the movie, retard.
Tanner, where'd you put this one?
I am currently sitting at a flat C.
Oh, that's much higher than your previous one. Dylan, how about you?
I'm fucking crazy for this, and I don't know how to justify it, so please don't burn me at the stake until we're fucking done talking about the movie, and I've had time to gather my thoughts. I don't know why I enjoyed this movie so much. I gave it an A.
That's substantially higher than your previous ranking.
I don't know
Jackson.
what I gave it.
I'm in between them. I'm at a flat B.
And I am at a B+. I liked it a little bit more than the previous one. It sounds like we all unanimously enjoyed it more than the original.
Yeah, and that makes me feel like a fucking retard, to be honest, because, like, the fact this movie exists is just an insult to art and intelligence. I tried to look up why they made it. It truly just seems to be a cash grab. They went, oh, this European film got good critic reviews, but no one saw it, so we're just gonna make it again, but give it a happy ending, just so mass audiences will eat it up. And I fucking hate that works on me. But granted, I really didn't like the original, and this one does fix a good amount of the problems I had with it, but like it just makes me feel like a complete fucking hack fraud that I watch this. I'm like, I do genuinely like this more, even though it is like completely devoid of artistic merit.
I wanted to ask a question really quick, because this is gonna sound weird. I'm not sure. How do we feel about the ending? Do we like that the family made it, or do we not like?
Yes, I do like that the family made. I hated the other ending, but I'm saying, the original, there was like a message there. There was a point. There was like some artistry in it.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't have that at all. But story wise, I just like it better.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still making the same point at the end of the day. It's just that, the family's actually able to get out at the end.
Well, I was gonna say, they do still poise the message, but the issue is the family doesn't necessarily suffer from it like they did in the first one, which is so weird to say. I don't want to be saying this, by the way, just putting that out there. I think it's weird that I am struggling with whether I like the ending of the first one or this one more. Obviously, I want the family to make it out alive, but... Jackson, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the big thing about the ending of the first one is that it is all predicated on the fact that you don't think the entire situation is completely retarded. And it was it was kind of completely retarded. So unfortunately, it just doesn't work. I think thematically the ending could have worked a lot better if they just had, done some minor things to the plot prior to it. Like in the second movie, for example, they have a lot more hints about what's happening to our characters prior to it actually happening. So I think it makes the ending of them escaping more believable. And I'm not really that fucked up about it all happening. I mean, they still are traumatized. They fucking murder people, they have a life or death scenario. I think they still learned their lesson about, speaking up to themselves and what the fuck the movie's trying to get you to believe. So I definitely think it works more. Obviously, the first movie's trying to be a lot smarter with it, but I just don't think it worked as well.
Yeah. And, I wouldn't even necessarily say that the family is that much smarter in this one. It's just, the fact that the plot allowed them to fight back makes them seem more capable.
I mean, they're also, again, just given hints about stuff, too. Like, the family from the first one didn't know things were happening until they basically left the second time, and that's when the father had like discovered stuff and then dipped immediately. They were like given more hints about things earlier on, I feel.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this movie, I thought I don't know if I could say the acting was better. I can't really remember too much from the first movie. I feel like the acting in this was better. I feel like the performances were better in general. I liked the involvement of every party in this, whereas, you know, sure, it's either, in some movies, it's either just the kids or it's just the adults. And in this, they decided to sprinkle in a little bit of both, where it's everybody's contributing efforts that allow the story to piece itself together. And like even with the victim kid, he had a lot of involvement, like, and they found creative ways to insert him into it. And yeah, I like how they made our main family human beings, where there's a drive to survive, there's a drive to fight. They're doing things that logical human beings would be doing, and it doesn't make you think like, yeah, I guess in a bad scenario, if they were not competent, this would happen. It just felt like the flow of this movie and the things that popped up worked. And I like how I was pretty much predicting this movie for the first 50% of it or so. And then I found myself not being I completely forgot I was like able to know what was happening. And obviously because from like halfway to the movie onward, they changed the ending. But it worked. It didn't make me think of like, it didn't compare it to the old movie, which I really liked about it. It stood on its own, I guess I could say about this movie.
Yeah, I agree that one thing, maybe the thing I most appreciate is the kidnapped little kid having so much more agency in this one. Like he's actually kind of intelligent and is trying to get himself out of this situation in this one.
Yeah, he didn't even fucking try in the first one. He just died.
Slight addendum, though, to something Dylan said about, like, them making, like, rational decisions in this movie. They just are not fucking finishing these people off when they have, like, ample opportunities to do so in, like, the big climax here. Like, you have so many opportunities to just fucking kill them, and they are not taking them. It was pissing me off so much, especially in the last part, where they've got the fucking dad dead to rights, laying on the ground there. It's like, fucking kill this guy. Like, no, we're just gonna walk away. The euphoria I felt when that little boy grabbed a brick and just fucking bashed his head in. I loved that.
That adds poetry to it, I feel. I will let Jackson go before
It's
I share my thoughts on that.
I was just gonna say, I think it adds into like some extra fucking messaging this movie's trying to say about like woman empowerment or whatever, because the dad is such a fucking pussy bitch, and he had so many opportunities to like actually do something and he just never did, and that leads into that a lot, I would say.
Dude, the big moment that like really got me was when they're about to change the tire and they walk into the shed, and it's a shed with an outside padlock. And I'm just like, okay. And this is after he had been shown the fucking pictures and everything. So I'm like, okay, if this dad wasn't retarded, he would close the shed door and padlock it right now.
I actually didn't think of that, but that makes a lot of sense to me.
Because then Patty would be fucking stuck in there. You obviously you can argue your way out of anything. He probably would have had a phone in there, and he's got the Wi-Fi connector, so maybe he could have called the other guy. But I feel like they probably could have gotten away if they did that.
Yeah, I'll go off of what Nico said first, and then I have a thought on what you just said, not pertaining to that specific scenario. I feel like I felt the same way when they were like, they could be finishing these people off and they're just not. I feel like that adds humanity to our main family. I'm sure, yes, if you're threatened, you're probably gonna want to neutralize the threat, but like at the end of the day, I don't think anybody necessarily wants to kill anybody. Against that note, I suppose, to say, I did question why, like, when they disarmed the wife and the husband, the wife had the shotgun and she just didn't take the shotgun immediately when she disarmed her, and then again with the pistol, just didn't take the pistol away from the husband when he got disarmed. Right. So that didn't make any fucking sense, so I agree with you in that regard. And in regards to what Tanner was talking about, where it's like things that could have happened, I get, so like, because they're in their Tesla driving away, and then he goes to shut the gate. And in my head, I'm like, I understand you don't want to damage your car, but, like, also, that Tesla could easily blow through that gate. I don't know why the fuck you're stopping to not just blow through the gate. And it's like, maybe people could justify, like, oh, the locks, when it shuts fully, those locks are strong. It doesn't matter how strong the locks are, it's how strong the metal holding the fucking gate's gonna be when you plow through it. Also, it's a car. It doesn't fucking matter. That's the only thing I would have to say in those two scenarios. I agree. I think the kid getting the finishing blow on the dad is more telling to the story. I think if one of the other characters had done it, it'd feel a little disingenuous to the emotional payoff. But does anybody have anything else to say about Speak No
we
Evil?
out of thoughts?
I think we might be.
So much of it's already been covered from the last review.
That's true. Yeah. We kind of just had to cover what's the... Like I said, I don't know why I like this movie so much more. It caught my attention so much better. I did check. I think I gave the last one like a C+ or some shit like that, right?
The previous movie did have like some more like weird little scenes for our like main couple to be reacting to. Like there was like that whole car thing that happened when they were like on their drive back home from the fucking bar. I also did like the scene in the original more where they were like being confronted after leaving for that first time, where it's like, oh, what fucking... But, like, we have all these reasons for, like, the weird things that you guys are pointing out. And I can see how that could fucking convince them a bit more to stay rather than just, like, I had a miscarriage or whatever the fuck it was. My baby died. And that being what, like, determines them fucking staying. But at the same time, this movie did feel like it was able to kind of run along a bit better. The pacing was just overall tighter this time around. It didn't have all the fucking annoying like establishing shots where it's like something normal is going on, but they have the spooky music in the background.
Yeah, I like the cinematography a decent bit more in this one, mostly because you can fucking see things.
Yeah.
I remember the original one was very dark.
Yeah. It's a lot of tell, don't show kind of shit, but you know. Anyway. A for me. I'm still sticking to my A. I quite enjoyed this movie.
I'm sticking at my B. I don't think it's bad or anything. It's definitely a better one than the first one. I'm not crazy about it still, though.
Yeah, I'm still at a B+.
It's so tough to know, like, to what extent I want to consider this separately from the original, because, like, the main thing dragging it down is the fact it is a remake that shouldn't exist. I'll bump it up to a C+. I'll give it that much.
And it lands at a B+. Straight to the pile.